Hi everybody and welcome back to CYT-Crypto News edition. Today I'm going to be speaking just about the headlines and making the crypto news just now. But first of all, I want to say the premium group is closing its doors on the 31st of May. So you've got 2 days left before you can actually join the premium group. I'm going to show you just now exactly what you can expect in the premium group. I'll just jump over at a moment and show you kind of some of the calls made in May. So I've showed you this before. I've just made a couple of calls again this morning, which will bring the average gain down. So waves, just made it this morning. XRP made yesterday at 4,942. It did get up to 5,334 Satoshi, making just about an 8% gain, which is yesterday, and it's still within play. So I make a call, within 10 days, should go up, and generally it does. The ones in the orange are the ones that have not made above 5% yet. The ones in green have made above 5%, but you can see some of them 225%, 156%, 795%. More recently, 25% on EOS, still going up as well, 26% on PivX. So if you want to join a premium group and join a brilliant bunch of people talking about crypto, as well as get calls like this every month, probably about 40 or 50 calls every single month I make, and average gain for May, as I said, was 40%. Okay, so if you want to join us, 2 days left to join us. Okay, on to the markets just now. Okay, we are in the markets. We've got market capitalization, we'll just refresh that just now, of $270 billion. About 2 hours ago, it was $267 billion, so it's now $270 billion. Just make sure we're over. We are. Bitcoin has gone back up to $8,607. It was down. It has gone down as low as 8,400. It has gone back up again, which is good to see. Ethereum is kind of down slightly. XRP, Bitcoin Cash down slightly. We'll just look at the kind of winners and losers. Aurora up 24%. Metaverse ETP up 18%. Pundi X doing well at 16.35%. IOTA, Komodo, Solve, Orbs all in double-digit greens. In reds, we have Insight Chain, Decentraland, Monero, Elf, Ardor, Eternity, Verge, Arc, Sentiment Network all down, but very slightly, and we've got about 50% down, 50% green, or 50% red, 50% green. Bitcoin dominance, 56.5%, slightly down as well. So people are getting out of Bitcoin, going into the alts, so going back into USDT or USD. And we'll just have a look at the Bitcoin chart after this. We'll nip over to crypto bubbles, what's been happening in the last hour. So the last hour, we're looking green at the moment. We're looking green, so this kind of gives you an indication, a snapshot of where we are right this kind of very second, or right this hour, and just now. So ETP was just seen going up, Solve up 5.6% on the hour, Zen is up 2.9%, BTT is up, Hot is up as well. Let's go back to that. Okay, Bitcoin chart. We'll look at that just now. Bitcoin 8,595. 5,000, I would just kill you off. 8,595 at the moment. It's changing all the time. It did get down or nearly touched that support line at 8,400, but it bounced back up. Hopefully it stays back up. We need it to stay above the $8,400. If it goes below that, then we could be going back down to the $7,000 mark, which is not that bad. It's not that bad considering how much of a run up it's had. We consider since it crossed over, we've gone up for Bitcoin 150%. So if you consider that, it's going to have some kind of pullback. It did here when it went down to 6,180, but kind of jumped straight back up. I'm still expecting $11,000 for Bitcoin, but it needs to stay above that 8,400. Okay, XRP. A lot of people kind of looked at this. I looked at this morning on the live, and XRP is forming this inverse cup and handle. So it could be going down again. We have to be objective. I'm extremely bullish on XRP. I think it's going to explode. I think it's going to go up big time. We're talking 200, 300, 400%. And I think it's going to be this year that that's going to happen. And probably within the next couple of months, I think that's going to happen. But we have to pay attention to TA as well. So it's got this inverse cup and handle, which is exactly the same as a cup and handle. It's just kind of flipped on its head. So normally, the price for what you can expect to see on an inverse cup and handle would be the apex of the kind of cup down to the kind of base. and kind of transpose that down into here, but that will bring it down to about 500 Satoshi. I don't think that's going to happen, but normally that's what you're kind of looking at. So we've got this inverse cupping handle. Just be aware of that. We're sitting at 5,048 Satoshi just now. It did jump up yesterday from 4,900 to 5,400. I expect a continuation of the upwards movement for that. And I think there's going to be an alts rally or an alts run in June. We'll start to see signs of that over the last few weeks. Just now, with many of the alts kind of jumping by 100% over the last month or so. So I think we're going to have an alts rally in June, but we need to wait and see what happens. And I think that's what's going to save XRP from going down any further with this alts rally as well. I think Bitcoin is going to go back up at the same time. It's going to stabilize and it's just going to have steady growth. And that's when we're going to see the alts rally coming up, or the alts run. And XRP is going to be included in that, I believe. Not financial advice. Put your big boy pants on, big girl pants on. Do your own research and all that stuff. But that's my personal opinion. And it's a biased opinion. Obviously, I want you to join the premium group and say, look at me, I'm fantastic. I predicted this. So obviously, I am really biased. But it's what I genuinely believe. But it is a biased belief. Yeah, definitely a biased belief. So just do your own research as well. Always do. Don't listen to YouTubers like me or anybody else. Just use us as guides to point you in as a signpost. And to do your own research. That's what this is for. That's what any YouTuber is for. Anybody worth their salt will tell you that. Do not listen to any YouTuber, especially me. Don't listen to us. Just do your own research. Use us as guideposts and signposts. Okay, we'll nip on to the news just now. Why Facebook, that wasn't one of the kind of main headlines that's here, but I want to kind of speak about this as well. Why Facebook's foray into crypto could be fruitless. So what they're saying with regards to kind of global coin and Facebook's kind of foray into the cryptocurrency world, they're saying the demographics are wrong with this. So mainstream media was abuzz last week with the news that Facebook has plans to launch its own digital token, global coin. This highlights the ignorance that big news outlets have, as Facebook really is ill-suited to have anything close to what we consider cryptocurrency. So this is on bitcoiners.com. Cryptocurrency by nature is mathematically secure, disruptive peer-to-peer technology designed to act as a decentralized form of finance. Facebook is a million miles away from those concepts, as it's highly centralized, highly censored, highly insecure, and largely untrusted. Do you think this person doesn't like Facebook? Any country the social media monopoly produces of its own are likely to have the same traits. So they're saying it's the wrong demographics. Recent research suggests that Facebook user base is shifting demographically. The latest report by research firm Dyer implies that Facebook's foray into crypto could be fruitless. Quoting figures from Pew Research Centre, Dyer added, Facebook will be facing an uphill battle on multiple fronts, primarily starting from an aging user base whose knowledge of cryptocurrency likely to be near nil. So I think this is slightly biased as well. They're all kind of media outlets are going to be slightly biased as well. So they're saying it's an aging kind of population on Facebook, and it is. I've been on Facebook for years myself, and I know my demographic on one of my pages where I've got 3.8 million followers is probably about between 35 and 55 years old. Not a brilliant demographic for cryptocurrency. However, basically they're saying here you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Bollocks. That's utter rubbish. And I think when people understand what kind of Bitcoin is, what cryptocurrency is, what it can be used for, etc., I think the more they'll be happy to jump on this, especially as an investment tool as well. So I think this is extremely biased, this report, but I have to be objective, kind of look at it as well. But the concerns about Facebook kind of being centralized, etc., are obviously valid concerns as well. So I get that. Okay, time traveler. This has been kind of going on for kind of years now, but it's making the viral rounds again. This is from Crypto Rand, who follow the Bitcoin time travel has been right since 2010. Actually, it was 2013, but he's saying 2010 here. So this is what it's all about. So this guy, and this is genuinely 5 years ago, in the Bitcoin kind of forum on Reddit, and this guy, Luca Magnota, who is no longer on, is saying he's a time traveler from the future, here to beg you to stop what you're doing. And so basically he's saying, on average, every year so far, the value of Bitcoin has increased by about a factor of 10, from $0.1 in 2010 to $1 in 2011, to $10 in 2012, to $100 in 2013, and remember he wrote this in 2013. From now on, there's a slight slowdown as the value increased by a factor 10 every 2 years, to $1,000 in 2015, $10,000 in 2017, and $100,000 in 2019, and $1 million in 2021. So from here onwards, there's no good way of expressing its value in dollars, as a dollar is no longer used, nor is any central bank issued currency for that matter. There's the two main forms of wealth in today's world, land and cryptocurrency. So this is doing the rounds as viral. It's kind of gone viral again. It's done the rounds before. But if you read the article, and I'm going to post the article for you as well. If you read the article, it goes on to state this is not a good thing. This is not a good thing. People are living, the wealthiest people are living in what he calls citadels. These are kind of gated communities basically to protect the wealthy from people kind of mugging them or stealing their passwords or whatever. So they live in these citadels, and the world is going to pot basically. That's really what it's saying. Say the 4 institutions with the largest still accessible Bitcoin balance are believed to be as follows: ASIC miners, 50,000 Bitcoin; the IMF's Currency Stabilization Fund, 70,000 Bitcoin; Government of Saudi Arabia, 110,000 Bitcoin; and the North Korean government, 180,000 Bitcoin. So it's worth reading the article. For a bit of fun, we don't for a minute believe there's a time traveler on Reddit, or there was a time traveler on Reddit, who's from the year 2025. But it's worth reading, purely because he's got the figures right so far to date. So a lot of people are talking about it just now. You've probably seen it on YouTube and in kind of on Twitter, etc. Okay, other news stories. BitMEX co-founder is now Britain's youngest self-made billionaire. So BitMEX co-founder Brian Dello, according to the Sunday Times, is the world's youngest self-made billionaire. Recently, it was reported that Dello had joined the likes of Bill and Melinda Gates, Warren Buffett, and many others in the 200-strong charitable cause launched called the Giving Pledge. And this is an initiative launched by the Gates and Buffett, where the extremely wealthy donate over half of their wealth to charitable causes. And in his pledge, Dello wrote, "Our distant ancestors did not possess technology that could cause human extinction. We do. Nuclear security cannot be taken for granted. The prospect of extreme climate change is real. Looking forward, advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence and synthetic biology will pose new and complex challenges." So that is from kind of the co-founder of BitMEX. A lot of people use BitMEX, a lot of people don't like BitMEX, but Brian Dello from the UK is one of the youngest self-made billionaires. According to BitMEX has been described by Galaxy Digital CEO Mike Novogratz as the single best business out there right now, and its margin trading features are certainly very popular amongst the crypto community. If you think that, think and wait what's going to happen with Binance Coin. So Binance Coin is coming out with margin trading very, very soon. What's going to happen to BitMEX and what's going to happen with Binance Coin as well when it explodes? Because of the margin trading as well. So the same could happen to Binance is already the biggest exchange out there for kind of alts. It's just the biggest exchange for the retail investor. Not necessarily for the institutional investor, but for the retail investor, although they've got an OTC trading desk as well now. US dollar has lost 99.99% of its value against Bitcoin. So the price of the world's largest cryptocurrency increased by almost 170,000% in the past 7 years, which caused the United States dollar to lose nearly 99.99% of its value against BTC. The trend is surprisingly similar to the behaviour of Germany's paper mark during 1920s hyperinflation. This was before the kind of Second World War, when kind of hyperinflation hit America. Not America, Germany, before the World War. The First World War, sorry. So the outbreak of World War I broke the link between the gold mark and gold, which led to the switch to paper currency. As a result, the papier mark became a symbol for the 1920s hyperinflation. USD value against BTC follows the trajectory of the papier mark. I don't know if it's papier or paper mark, but as the mark, the German mark, that's what they're talking about here. So Brendan Bloomer, the CEO of Block One, argued that Bitcoin's ability to be a store of value will remove any need for scaling and called the cryptocurrency Gold 2.0. Is Bitcoin going to take over? Is going to take over the dollar? Could that ever happen? Just a question to ponder. A lot of people say no, it's never going to happen, and they give many reasons for that not happening. But the question, could it happen? It's a possibility that could happen. It is a possibility that could happen. So this time traveler might be right if you read the rest of his kind of post as well. Binance is becoming more important for alts than all other exchanges combined, says Michael Arrington. So Michael Arrington, the founder of TechCrunch and partner Arrington Capital, spoke about the exchange's growth on Twitter, and he stated, with the exception of Korea, Binance is becoming more important for all alts than all other exchanges combined. Great for BNB holders like us, but bad for the market overall. People need to step up their game. So this was followed by Arrington stating that the exchange had to be careful about anti-competitive moves, such as forcing Binance Chain as one of the requirements for listing a token on the exchange. He added that Binance Chain would have to compete on its own merits. I do believe that as well, and we'll have to look out for anti-competitive kind of moves with Binance as well, because it is getting so big. It's getting huge, it's kind of buying up kind of other companies as well. And more people are using Binance. But to get onto the Binance, so you're going to have to go onto the Binance chain to do an IEO, for example, or the Binance chain, for example, which it kind of looks like just now. Who's going to stop them? Who's going to stop them? That's the only thing I'm concerned about Binance for, because they get too big and then people start gunning for them. Governments start going for them, and kind of bodies like that start going for them. So they have to be really careful, and obviously I would imagine they're taking advice on this as well. But Changpeng Zhao's came back and said, no, there's lots of coins we don't list yet. We don't compete to list a coin first. We'd like to see them grow a bit on other exchanges first. So this aside, we'll not talk about that, but I was talking about Justin Sun there as well. So we'll see what happens with that, but Binance will becoming extremely attractive just now, even with a 4 billion market capitalization. I think they're easily going to reach kind of 100 billion market capitalization within a couple of years. So that's a 25x from where it is just now. So if you think about it from that point of view, kind of Binance coin is about $30, $30ish just now. Kind of 10x from there is $300. I think it could easily be a $1,000 coin within 2 years, but we'll have to get it $100 first. So just think about that. Think about that for a wee second as well. And that's it for this week's or today's news. Don't think there's any more news at the moment. Just looking at the headlines. There's not. Yep, that's it for just now. We'll just take another look at Bitcoin price, $8,590 just now. So that's the Bitcoin price just now, $8,590. And I think with that, I'll leave it there for you today. Until next time, namaste. Take care. Bye now.